All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakah Kodash, that belongs to the apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And this is pretty much going to like a self-reflection video again. But today I'm going into one of the words perseverance, or preserve, or persevere, I should say. And this is also good to keep in note because we understand to persevere in this truth against all wickedness that comes, that we see, but we also got to counter the wickedness that we might have within ourselves, because that's the whole point of growing in this truth, to pretty much dispel off the old man. And even though you can't, and even though you will go off again or eventually, it's still good to keep in mind that, hey, this is still me trying to practice to get right, because we all go off regardless. But that's why we have brothers there to keep us going sharp, right? But I want to get into the word persevere. It says to persist in what one has undertaken, to pursue steadily a design of course, or sorry, design to pursue steadily a design or course, right? Continue steadfastly, persist, right? So that's what we're doing. We, even with ourselves, we persist and try to make sure we do the best that we can to to the best of our abilities. Because like everyone that first comes to the truth, we all expect the very good things, where we we Shalom brothers, all the good things. You think fellowship and brotherhood and all this other stuff, and then you find out it's a different league. Because the main thing we come in here expecting is that everything's going to be good, no repercussions, even towards ourselves. That's the expectation we come in, come in with this truth, and everything in this truth is a repercussion that we gotta take heed to. And such as those things is examining thyself, and that's one of the biggest things. Is if we don't do that, that can lead to a major downfall, because being in the truth teaches us a lot about how to conduct ourselves. Yeah, pretty much going out and doing the work, but it's more than just going out, cussing out Esau and all this other stuff. It's also how we know when a situation happens, we know how to handle it. Whether it be like with police, we ain't getting hunted down by police like that, because we know how to be cordial with them. But do you know how to? But the question is how to be cordial with yourself when you're in a situation where you gotta get rebuked, or something with your job, or something might happen with a car of yours, and you gotta have that word is, you gotta have your composure when it comes to a lot of stuff. That's also going to stoicism, to not pretty much worry about too much. You just keep going forward, but also have pretty much not let the world's burden you, because through faith we keep going. But that's enough of rambling. I'm gonna go into the scripture real quick. This is gonna be a quick video, but this is 2 Timothy 2:3. It says, though therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWAHSHI'S. And that's what we have to do. Enduring that hardness is not just having to deal with how people come up against us, but how we deal with ourselves. Because you may have a problem that you don't see, and that's what the brothers are there for, or to pretty much help you with something you might not, that you might be lacking in, to pretty much build you up. Like, hey, this is something you might want to try. So hardness is enduring hardship with all the things that might come your way, or that you might have to face in the near future, or something that you failed to do in the past that you had to overcome in the future. So that's enduring the hardness. The endurance to continue, right? Which, if we go back to it, because it says continue, preserve, very strict, earnest, right? You gotta be strict, even with yourself, austere, right? Of course, you have other ones, perseverance, which I mentioned earlier, which is will or ability to persevere, tenacity. Tenacity is also a good word too. Which I could go into it, which I might, because it's basically going to be the same thing. So I'm not going to ramble on too much, but I want to see if there's something added to it. Okay, yeah, so quality of holding firm. So basically the same thing, but tenacity is also very good one to pretty much have that faith that you won't fall down, or let me not say that, because you may fall down, but to pretty much have it to where if I fall down, I won't quit. Because you have brothers, you don't have guys that came in and then quit because of certain things they didn't like, or they didn't quit because they got fussed out so much, or they quit because one of the main things they say is everything's taking too long. The Lord's taking too long to come back. That means you don't have tenacity. You don't have the will to keep going no matter how long it takes. And I say this with balance, because I don't believe this place may last even another 50 years, but let's say it does go on another 50 years, maybe another 60 years. You got to continue until the day the day the Lord calls upon you, because we don't know when He's coming. It could be another 70 years from now. We got to keep pushing. But that's also building that tenacity within ourselves to temper our mindsets, even with ourselves, then control ourselves. Because when you do so much, you'll burn out. Even with yourself, when you don't do the things that you're supposed to do, you start veering away from the goal that you were set to do, and that's not supposed to happen. That means you lost tenacity. That means which means you lack perseverance, right? So this is Revelations 10:10. It says, "And I took a little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey." And I'm stopped there because, as I mentioned earlier, having a lot of good expectations about, well, all expectations in this truth is good, but becoming having this expectation of a false expectation, really, of that we're not supposed to go through anything bad. We just everything's supposed to be good, like it's the kingdom of heaven, and that's not the case. Of course, spirits resonate, but with this resonation comes hardship, whether it be from people on the outside, your brothers, or even yourself. So it all comes in with that sweetness. You have that false sense of its expectation. But here it says, "And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter." Then reality hits. At least with the Lord's reality hits us. Like, hey, it's good that you're doing this, but now you have to grow and be molded. Everything that you thought you knew has to be thrown out, including the expectation. That includes the old man, which is why it's in the scriptures, and be brought anew, which means you're gonna go through. You're gonna go through getting rebukes. You're gonna go through certain things happening to your life, whether it be with your family, your woman, your job, and all sorts of other stuff. So these are the things, and then on top of that, even learning certain things. So, because you got people that kind of, well, you had those guys that's be on the fence where I want to come over, but I'm still stuck in, let's say, Christianity or Islam. Well, when you cross over, you gotta throw away that Christianity and Islam. All that still plays a factor into yourself, because you can still be carrying those old ways upon you. So that's why they call it a cleansing, as Romans 12:2 says. You got to be renewed in the mind. And the renewing of the mind is to throw away all the old stuff that you cling to push forward. So that's pretty much all I wanted to go into with that. So Lord willing, this is a little edifying. With that, Shalom.